In this video, I'm going to show you what Rory McIlroy has done over the past 13 years to help protect his knee and not make the same mistake that Tiger Woods made. And make sure you stay till the end of the video. Got something really cool to show you using a new tool I found. And also hit that like and subscribe, really helps the channel grow as we donate funds to low-income children in South Africa to help get golf to their lives. But enough of that jogging, let's get going. So before we get started, you're going to hear this constant annoying click-clacking throughout the whole video. I do apologize, but when I was video recording, something was playing in the background, and it was actually the golf swings on repeat. So if you hear this click-clacking, no, it's not your speakers. And yes, it is pretty annoying, but I recorded all that stuff. I just didn't feel like recording it again because it's pretty time-consuming. So stick with me in this video. Thanks again. Enjoy. All right, Land Golf Academy members and guests, happy Halloween. It's in a few days. Just about to commute down to San Diego to teach down there, but before I did, I wanted to put this quick little video up there to show you that even the best in the world are always tinkering with their swing. But make sure you know what you're doing while you are tinkering. Here we have the great Rory McIlroy, a 2010 swing on the left side, a 2023 swing on the right side. We can already notice some visual differences. The one on the left is slightly taller. The one on the right is a little bit more hunched over. We see the degree between the red line and the lower green line is a little bit wider than the green on the right side. The one on the right side is closer to 90 degrees. We see much more of the weight towards the toes on the right side, more of the weight on the heels on the left side. So it's more upright, and this is very rotational, and we'll see evidence of this. And I believe he's changing this to protect his left kneecap, a la Tiger Woods. Another thing he'll be working on is shortening his arm plane. We'll also notice a few other things he's working on, and I think these are all great changes to protect his longevity in the swing, but also provide consistency. Some of these things you guys can try and implement on your swing, but make sure you have some knowledgeable eyes to watch you. That Barney line on the left side of each of these players can show you where his weighting is, so you can see how much more of the body weight is right side of that line versus the old swing. We can see a little more of the body weight is on the left side of that line. So this shows you where his weight is stacked. Now, why is that important? Because it's how you load and unload correctly. So let's look at the first couple things we see. On the left side, we see a slightly more upright takeaway, which also leads to a higher left tilt lean. So we see a little bit more of the left tilt lean here. On the new one, we see it's a little bit shallower. I know those are kind of crooked lines, so forgive me, but hopefully you get the idea. What we also notice is how much quicker his club head is getting to that secondary plane line versus the one on the right side. He's keeping that club head on that lower plane line longer, establishing a little bit more width and slight more connection to his core. Let's continue as we see that top of the swing. This is what the biggest change I see besides the setup is where that club is sitting at the top. So the top of each swing, we'll pause it right about there. That's the top. You can see a glaring difference. The one on the left side, we see those hands are creeping back behind his heels. Now remember, the heel line is where that purple line is. Look at the club head line. It's creeping back behind that heel line. Take a look at this one. It's creeping right on that heel line. So he is essentially keeping his swing circle connected closer to the center of his chest, where the one on the left side, it gets a little long, and we can see that club shaft pointing well past parallel, which will pull his upper body slightly up and towards the target. So that might create some issues. One on the right side, we see that club is sitting pretty close to where his target is, and there's less travel time. So remember, it's travel time from the top of the swing to impact is dramatically reduced. The whole golf swing lasts anywhere from 0.9 to 1.1 seconds, with the downswing lasting as quick as 0.2 seconds to 0.3 seconds. So whatever position you put yourself in the backswing, think about how much less time we have. I hope that's not a double negative, but how much less time we have to strike that golf ball from those positions. All right, let's keep going down. And this is where the video gets a little bit ahead of itself. So we'll start with the left side and compare them both. But look at the arm dropping. So the one on the left side, we can see those arms are still trying to go down. But again, they're behind that heel line. The one on the right side, the arms are just going straight down that heel line, which means he has less travel time. And we will see evidence of this in the follow through to the completion of the swing. So already the club is getting on that lower plane line with his older motion. And look at how much his body is turning open. Remember, he has to whip around because he is taller, and he has to get those hands to catch up. We come on down a little bit more, and we can see, watch that left side, and look at how much from this position on the left side to impact. So you see that driving, it's not only going up, but look at the whipping motion, and look at the lower leg of his pants, receiving all that weight. Look at that left knee, how it keeps buckling under. Now watch the right side, and we see the left knee doesn't buckle as much, doesn't receive as much, because he's not whipping around Now let's back up slightly and look at where the club is in relation to his lower plane line. Now I know this could be some camera angle, but look at how well he is on that lower plane, much quicker than he used to be. But let's take it back. Look at that left side again. Watch the turn. So you see how the upper body also turns as much as the lower body does, and he does it before he strikes the ball. Once he strikes the ball, you see how little the shoulders turn after he strikes the ball. That's his hands playing catch up, right? So look at the right side of the screen. Watch how little he turns before he strikes the ball, and watch how much he turns after he strikes the ball. There's a difference between his timing and his sequencing. The one right now is it's easier to time, and he explodes at the ball and past the ball. The one on the left side, he explodes before the golf ball, and his hands have to catch up and release through. And we can see evidence of this is look at what's the first thing to come out on the left side. Boom, there's a club head, and the club head is much lower, pointing lower than his planes, which means his hands had to release a lot sooner. What's coming out first on the left side? We see the club coming out higher, but look at how straight it is on that upper plane line. So things are working more in one piece circle. And the last thing to show you is that arm plane. So look at the arm plane. It's slightly crooked, means that club head had to come on inside. Where look at the right side, it is above his secondary plane. So things again are working a little bit more in sequence. There is less turning involved. Look at the right hip, it is completely all the way through. The right foot is up in the air in the old swing. Look at the right one. The right foot is just kind of relaxing because it didn't have to drive and put all this excessive motion and damage on that left knee, the left hip, and potentially as well the lower back, because everything crunches when you are spinning through. And I bet you he learned from Tiger. Tiger probably gave him a friendly reminder, says, hey buddy, you got to slow those hips down. You're going to end up like me with 20 plus surgery on my left side. Okay, and this is a video overlay, one over the other, and you can kind of see I pulled one and put it right over there, and we can already see the difference in the angles. Now I know that this isn't exactly right in terms of the sizing, but it's as close as I can get, and you can already see the plane angles are changing. But look at the motion on the way back and the way through. So look at the club is in completely different positions. We get to the top, the arms get much longer in the old one, new one's right in front, and when we go through we can see that one swing is slightly outracing the other. The old one has to be a little bit faster. But overall, I think these are all great changes that he is doing to protect his body, continue his career, an additional 5, 10, who knows, 15 years. That helps you. Hope you can learn a little bit about your swing based on what the best in the world are doing. They're always searching for something different to help increase the length of their swing. And I'm not talking about distance, I'm talking about time frame. You want a golf swing that comes to its end the same day you do. Hope that helps you. Happy Halloween again. Fairways and greens.